week. We had 2 weeks in a row where we were negative in the turnover margin, and we knew we had to do better this game, and I was really proud of our team for that. And then I thought we played physical. I thought we were, especially in the fourth quarter, and I thought Bear did a nice job taking care of the ball and giving us some spark in the run game too.
As you move forward with your running back situation, are you kind of like practice load management, I guess is the word the NBA uses, or do you feel like LJ can kind of do what he's doing?
Yeah, we're definitely being smart with him in practice. He doesn't get hit at all, really. But yeah, the load of carries he's getting right now is kind of what I was envisioned before the season, even if Sione wasn't out. Bear's getting a few more than I would like at times, but he's so good at it, it's hard not to use him. So we're trying to manage that as well as we can. But yeah, LJ, his practice week is pretty light. He's a veteran player who knows the offense really well, so it's mostly just game plan details that he needs to be able to play well on Saturdays.
Do you have any depth behind Preston Rex? I know some of those guys have been dinged up a little bit.
Yeah. We still believe in Jovessa. I mean, Jovessa did not get put, just because he made one mistake is not why he's not playing. It's just Preston had earned the opportunity prior to that, and injuries had kind of held him back. But we have a lot of belief in Jovessa, and Enoch Nawahine is a good player too.
What sets Bear apart in his ability to run the football? What makes him so effective in the QB run game?
Well, he has really good vision. He's faster than you think, and he's very physical. He runs behind his pads, and he's 230, 235 pounds, so he's just a load to bring down, and he's just very instinctive. He sees the game, and yeah.
Where does LJ rank as far as pass blocking running backs that you've had?
He is doing a really good job. I don't know how to rank him, but much better than a year ago. In fact, I thought he had a very good pass protection game against the Utes. I mean, we had to mix up our protections a lot in that game. Last year, our quarterback got hit a lot, and this year we were very intent to not allow that to happen. They get most of their turnovers from getting after the quarterback. They get you in. They stop the run, they get you in 3rd and long, and then they get after the QB, and those hits on the QB often turn into turnovers, strip sacks, interceptions, things like that. So LJ had a huge role in that, and I thought we did a solid job. It wasn't perfect, but we did a good job protecting.
So 2 years ago, Iowa State got you guys pretty good here.
Yeah.
Since then, you guys haven't lost a game by more than one score.
Yeah.
Was that kind of a pivotal moment for BYU football, do you think? Or?
Yeah, that was a humbling loss. I mean, they got after us from the first play of the game. I mean, we fumbled the opening kickoff, and it went all downhill from there. And, Iowa State's a program that I respect a lot. I've looked to them as a program that we felt like we could be like them. They were good before we were in this conference, and, they play with a lot of discipline and toughness. They're a big team like we are. On offense, they run the ball, and they're very balanced. They can throw it and run it. Defensively, they're tough and physical. So I think it's a program that we've kind of looked to like, hey, that's someone to emulate and try to, we do different things than them, but we respect them a lot.
They've been banged up. They lost both their starting cornerbacks to ACLs. Do they play any differently right now just due to those injuries that you've seen?
There really hasn't been a big drop-off that I see, and the defensive coordinator does such a good job. They mix up their coverages so much. It's not like their corners are just hanging on an island all day in man coverage. They do a lot of good things to keep you guessing, and so and they're a program that's very tough and physical, and when they have somebody get hurt, they're not going to whine about it. The next guy's going to step up and play. I have a lot of respect for him.
Have you been to Jack Trice before?
Yeah, 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a good day there. Yeah.
First day game since Arizona State last year, as far as daytime kickoff. What is that a thing for you guys? Is that does that cause any sort of schedule change or anything as far as preparation?
You wake up and eat breakfast and go. So that'll be different. But I think we're all excited to play a day game. It's instead of getting home at 5 o'clock in the morning, we'll get a decent night's sleep after that game and going into our bye week. But night games have been great to us, but we're excited to play in the day. I am, and looking forward to it.
Where do you see the strength of the Iowa State defense?
Well, it starts with just they have a very unique scheme and they're very good at it. I would start there, and then, but they have good players at every position. Very good size. They're a big team, and they hit. I mean, these guys are hitters. This is a violent team, and I respect them a lot.
We'll find out more Wednesday, but any chance JoJo is close to getting back?
JoJo he won't play in this game, but I'm expecting him to play against Texas Tech.
So after the bye.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
How about Sione?
I'm more unsure on him, but JoJo JoJo's getting really close. He's practicing and looking really good out here.
Anything else?
Good.
Okay.
Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah, sure thing.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Jay, when do you head out?
Yeah, I sent you that. Thanks.
Great hat, too. Great hat. Orioles won the last year, 1983.
Watching the clubhouse of the apartment building.
That's cool. When Ripken caught the last hour.
It wasn't supposed to be
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
I was literally in junior high when I lost it.
All right, we got Andrew here.
Hey, Kenny, I'm not this impressed.
No, he's
We're doing.
out there.
Good to see you too.
One more step.
One more step. There we go.
Andrew, you got your first taste of the rivalry game.
Yeah,
What were your impressions? What were your takeaways?
it was awesome. Such a fun environment. I mean, shout out to Cougar Nation for showing up and showing out at LaVell Edwards Stadium. I mean, just such a fun environment to be in and to play in that game. But, you know, honestly, like, it was a great game. Utah's a phenomenal team. They're going to do a lot of really great things the rest of the year. But for us, you know, it's just another step in the right direction that we want to go, right? That's not our final destination, is beating Utah. And we got a lot more work to do, so we're working hard, and we're really excited for Iowa State now this week because they're a phenomenal team as well. That's done a lot of really, really good things historically, done a lot of great things this year. And so we're just really excited to move on to this game. But, man, such a fun environment, such a fun win on Saturday, and just looking forward to the future now.
How did it compare to Michigan, Ohio State?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the cool thing is here at BYU, and I think Coach Sitake does a great job of it, he teaches the love and learn, right? And you can tell the love that he has for Coach Whittingham and the staff over there. I mean, it's cool to look at the crossover, right, of all the coaches over there between, you know, Coach Beck, Coach Atuaya, all those guys that are BYU guys, and then here, you know, Coach Hill, a Utah guy, A-Rod was at Utah for a little bit. So a lot of crossover, even Coach Sitake at Utah. So a lot of crossover. There's a lot of love between the two programs and the coaching staffs, and Kalani preaches that. Whereas, you know, Michigan, Ohio State, there's a lot of hatred, and nothing against that, right? I think there's different flavors for different rivalries, but I really like the way that Coach Sitake approached that rivalry, and thought that I learned a lot from him personally on how to approach a rivalry game, especially in the middle of the season, right, when you have a lot more teams to play. Felt like it was a really good learning experience for me.
How do you feel like, especially you and Isaiah Jatta, the tackles, handled the Utah pass rush? I think JHD got a sack early, but then I can't remember another one. How do you guys overall feel like you played in that game?
Yeah, I mean, there's always room for improvement, right? I made some mistakes that game pass rushing against, Logan Fano. He's a great player. John Henry Daly's a great player as well. So credit to those guys. They got a great defense. They're coached well, and they've done great things. We'll continue to do great things. But overall, felt happy with our performance. Thought we did a good job. But a lot of room for improvement. Really excited for this week to improve and to get better and to work from there.
So after watching tape of Iowa State, what are you going to have to work on? What's the offensive line going to have to be good at this Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, they're a disciplined, well-coached defense, right? And I think you're always going to get that from a really good team in the Big 12. And so this week, I think we're going to be physical. That's what we want to do every week. We want to be really physical. We're always going to try to establish the run game, right? We have great running backs, but also throw the ball as well and protect Bear. So I think the biggest thing for us is just finding ways to continue to be disciplined, right? We've had a great year as an offensive line, but finding ways to continue to get better, right? We're finding those little details. And so I think that's the goal this week, is to find the details and the little things we can get better at and then get better that way.
What do you see Iowa State very good at their defense? What do you see as far as watching tape? What are they real good at?
Yeah, they're physical. They're big guys. You know, this is a little bit of a different defense than we've seen all year. They're not going to bring as much of a pass rush, right, in terms of blitzing a lot of guys. It's a lot of rush three. So we're going to have to be really disciplined. And they're bigger defensive ends, right? Some bigger guys than we've faced all year. So for us, it's going to be something where we're really going to have to be good in the run game, make sure that we're stout, because those guys are really stout. So that's the big thing for us, is being stout, making sure we're on the right page, communicating well, and making sure we're on the right guys all game.
So 2 years ago, I know you weren't here, but Iowa State handled these guys really well, in the trenches especially.
Yeah.
After the game, Kalani just said, this is where we got to get better. Has that been a talking point this week at all? And where do you think they've come since that 2 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, I wasn't here at that point, but I know that from what Coach Woods has done here, that it's a completely different offensive line than we were 2 years ago, schematically, but also I think the most important thing is just in terms of our mentality as well, of being tough and being disciplined. And so going into this game, we're going to make sure that we establish ourselves, that we're physical, and that we're going to come in with the right mentality of dominating our opponent, right? Not to say that they're not a great team, because they are a really good team, but that's the mentality that we want to have every week, is being the more physical opponent and making sure that the game is won in the trenches. And so that's what we take a lot of pride in, and we're really excited to do that this weekend.
How does your body feel right now?
Good. I mean, right, week 8 of the season, it's never going to feel 100%, but for where we're at, I feel phenomenal. I feel really good with where we're at, excited to keep playing, excited to keep getting reps and to keep getting better, but really blessed and really grateful that I'm healthy. Now, this point of the year wasn't so healthy at Michigan, and so really grateful that I'm healthy this year, and just continue to give thanks every day to God that we're healthy and get another chance to play football, because you never know when that's going to be taken away. So really grateful with how the body feels right now.
So having won a national championship at Michigan, what do you take from that experience to apply to like a stretch run like this, where you're in the championship hunt and trying to make something happen down the stretch?
Yeah, I think, like I mentioned earlier, is the biggest thing is you can't just treat the game, the last game you played, as the end all, right? And I think it's tough to do that against a team like Utah, right, where it's your rivals, a really good team, a ranked opponent, a really emotional, really physical game, and so it's easy to fall into the trap of, oh wow, like that was good, and you can kind of take a step back. But you can't do that at all, right? You have to keep winning. And so I look back at that national championship year. You beat Ohio State. We were both undefeated at that time. I believe they were number 1 in the country. We were number 2 when we played that game, or number 3, right? So both top 4 teams at the time. And so you go into that game, and it's really easy to fall into that trap. But then you have to go play the Big 12 or Big 10 championship rather that year at that time. And so for me, that's just what I learned from Coach Harbaugh, that he instilled really well. His thing is he had what he called on a roll. When you won 6 games, you're on a roll. When you won 8 games, you're on a rampage. And when you won 12 in a row, you were just playing phenomenal, right? So that's the big thing that I take with it, right, is you're not ever settling with where you're at then. We have bigger goals of not just being 7-0, but being 12-0 in the regular season. So that's what we're going to work.
This week's for the rampage, then.
That's for the rampage, as Coach Harbaugh would say. Yep. So.
Anything else for?
Yeah, talk a little bit about your coach, Coach Woods. How has he helped you?
Yeah, Coach Woods has been great. For me, he's done a really good job of teaching me a higher level of football, I feel like. Nothing against coaches at Michigan or anything I learned there, but I think I lacked a lot of football knowledge. I think I also lacked a lot of technical discipline, right, in the way that I played the game with my technique, and I feel like Coach Woods has done a really good job of not letting that slide here, of continuing to hold me to a high standard, of getting better in pass protection, getting better in the run game. And I'm really grateful for that, and really grateful for the way that he's taught me and the standard that he's held me to.
All right, thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.
Hey, Vic. What's up, man?
Hey.